All right. Well, I'm going to turn this on. Checking the chat. Hello, everybody. Let's see here. I'm going to wait for people to trickle in. I have a slight delay, as always. If anybody streams, there's always a bit of a delay, but I'm checking the chat. JD looks kind of like Steve Jobs. What? Not as handsome as Steve Jobs. All right. Well, welcome, everybody. My name is JD. I'm going to keep checking. We got 61 people coming in. They're trickling in. I'm going to keep chatting a little bit until we have people coming in. That I can see my face, the face of a chat. All right, let me see here. People are trickling in still. What kind of background? That is a Star Wars background. Let me switch to something else here. Who likes Star Trek? Susan in the house, look at that. Shout out to Susan. Yes, hyperdrive, that's right. I'll mute this. I can't hear myself. All right, let's see here. How many Star Trek fans are here? We got that. Come on, it's awesome. Here's a subtle one. How about this one? See here. To which system you make the light jump? Usually I make the jump to my kitchen. So I can eat. Warp speed engage indeed. All right. Let me bring up my phone. I'm going to tweet that we are starting. Boom. Let's do this. Let's see here. The Falcon. Come on. The Falcon is ready. You can also see my room. Here we go. That is the nerd office. I might even walk around at the end. Let's see here. What is this? I do like this one, though. It's kind of neat. It's old school. It's very hot at that place. Never watched Star Trek. You're missing out. It's good stuff. It's a lot of shows. It's a lot of stuff to watch. Let's see here. Some advice for the contest. Well, stay within animation. So focus on 3D animation if you can, character animation, but it can also be camera animation. It can be kind of a, kind of like a promotional advertisement. I have some examples at the end. So I'm going to say hi here. We'll talk about my presentation here. Of course, I'm going to check the chat for questions. And then we're going to go through the Q&A. So keep sending in your questions. Oh, someone saw the Nintendo 64. Let's go back. That's right. That's right. It's right there. Right, turn 1064. It's very nerdy. It's a nerdy room, what can I say? It's 3:33 in India. Is that morning? It's a very specific number there. Morning or evening? I don't know. All right. I'm always checking the chats here. I got MSI chat going on, just letting everybody know what is going on. I'm checking the chat here, and I believe we can start. So, first of all, I'm going to do a presentation first about the do's and don'ts of the industry. It is 003 in France, midnight. Ooh, bonjour, monsieur. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. And there are two sections to the slides. So it's going to be about students kind of like working through the process and things you have to kind of pay attention to, and then transitioning to a more work environment. We can take a little break depending on the chat. You can always kind of see what's going on here. I thought the room background was a picture too. You know, I have a picture, by the way. If I go to this, it's my fake picture, just in case someone walks in the back, but nothing's going on in the back here. So let's start with the presentation. I am home, by the way. I'm JD. If you're watching this, I'm JD. I'm an animator at ILM. I teach at Animation Mentor, the Academy of Art, and I got my own workshops. Check it all out. There are links in all the descriptions there. So let's go here. The do's and don'ts. That's right. Let me switch over. I am going to switch to the slide and make sure that you are staying until the very end. There's going to be a surprise for people who stay until the very end of the Q&A. We got 76 people right now. 76 people are going to get something special at the end. I hope it's special to you. But this is the presentation, how to transition from an animation student to a professional. All right. JD, I'm a bit too early to have a LinkedIn. No. Keep those questions. I'm going to check every now and then if something out of the ordinary happens, but keep asking questions, especially if it's anything that pertains to the slide. And at the end, we're going to have a Q&A and then look at some of the submissions of the Creator Awards. I got a few there to check out. They're very cool, by the way. It's very, very cool. All right, let's go into this here. So first, we're going to start with students. And by the way, when does this end? It's going to be about 30, 40 minutes-ish, depending on how's it going. I have a lot of slides. So chances are we're going to run out of time before I'm done because I want to talk about a lot, but I want to make sure that it also works. And potentially I can always ask or respond to some of the questions in the Q&A that might cover some of those slides. All right, so let's go. First of all, I want to start with the tough news up front, that it's very, very hard to get in. And I teach a lot of classes, and I always ask students at the very beginning what they are interested in and what kind of studios they want to work at. And it's usually the top studios, which is totally understandable because I was the same. I always wanted to work at ILM or Pixar. Those are, when I grew up, 20 years ago when I started this whole thing, those were the top companies for me. But you just have to understand that is very, very difficult to get in. You have to be obviously prepared and have a lot of, work ready, and you really has to be ready. But just to get in, it's also just a big factor of luck. So just throwing that out there. And you have to love the process. This is something I talked about actually this whole week with my classes, where you really have to be ready to get in, animate frame by frame, and just really adjust the posing, the attitude, the acting choices, and just everything you're going to put into your posing, the line of action. It's just so much work that goes into that. And if you're not ready to go in there and kind of loop through your shots and really do the hard work, you're going to have a hard time on top of finding a job. So just want to throw that out there. It's very, very hard. And especially this one, as you're with your school, you got classes, you might have breaks in your classes, you can find your friends. You'll be like, it's just a bit different because you are in a classroom environment. But once you work, as I say here, you will spend more time at work than at home. It's going to be Monday to Friday, potentially Saturday. And you have to make sure that you are really okay with that, with the amount of work and all the stuff you need to do. But it's really on a daily basis with a lot of challenges, and just have to be ready for that. So my question to you, what are the biggest challenges you have faced? I'm very curious. Where are you at? Did you just start? Someone, I think Andrew, said he is at the beginning of his journey there, which is awesome. I'm pumped for you. It's going to be great. And if you are there, or if you have gone through school, are you in the middle of the school? Did you graduate? Did you just start at a company? Are you trying to find a job right now? So I'm curious, what are the challenges that you have faced? And is there anything that I can help you with? So maybe mention that in the Q&A and let me know. Is there anything that I can help you with right now, potentially? All right. So as you're starting with your shots, again, these are general tips that I find as I go through my classes, as I teach. I noticed that you need to really go beyond the first 5 ideas. Because if you have an idea and you just want to get into that and immediately animate, then you have to switch backgrounds here. That's for the idea creation. These are your ideas. You have to think about what is the idea that I just had, and then talk to your friends, and then go through more. Like first 5 for sure, everybody else is going to have. Then go through 5 more. I mean, once you're at your 10th idea, do your 11th. Think about what is something that no one has seen before, something that's new and fresh, because anybody that hears a topic, I can do this, they're probably going to do the same thing as you. Now, if you want inspiration for that, I highly recommend that you have a reference library ready. So as you go through your life now, of course, with the current world situation, you can't go out. I mean, it's a bit difficult, but you can still watch things online. You can watch movies. You can still discuss things with friends. And what I would recommend is that you have what I have is a private blog. This is something you can't really see. This is for myself, so I have timestamps and I can have it organized. So you can see on the left here, I have things that I can email myself that get posted right away. If I find an image that's inspirational for a background, a set piece, an environment to animate in, or clothing choices, or just character design, stuff like that. So I have a designated area where I have that for sure. Also on the right, you can see I have emails where I have many folders where I have general stuff about animation. You got things about creatures, lip sync, for reels, rigging, VR. So I collect all kinds of things all the time, which I can use at home or at work. It's very helpful. Now, these are just my clumsy attempts at collecting those things. My question to you, how do you collect reference? I'm very curious because I have my kind of age-old ways of doing things. And for those that are starting, for those that are coming in here, do you have something where it's a special folder? Is it something that's a physical thing you write down? Is it something where you collect things, copy? I don't know, like what is your way of collecting your work? I'm very curious about that. Now, if you want reference for that, what I recommend is that you go to the 11 Second Club. That's 11secondclub.com and check out what people are doing. I actually have a slide here. So what I would recommend, go on there, check out the winner, because they're usually very awesome. And then look at like the first 10. And then like the next 10 or 20, you can see how the quality, is a bit different. And then the next 200 or 300 submissions, you can really see what are the acting choices that are overused, what are the rigs that are overused, what are just some of the ideas that feel repetitive. So I would recommend that you go on places like that to really see, oh, let me see what the audio is. What is my idea? Now, has this idea been repeated over and over? Now, if you do this, and it's okay, as you're in school, as some of you I just read here, you're starting out, it's okay to do tests. But at the same time, you got to look at, well, if I work at a company, you have to look at what is the style of the company, what kind of work are they doing? And I would recommend that you mold and you tweak your shots so it represents the style and the look of the company. I'm not saying renders if your animation, the playblast is fine, right? Just focus on your animation. But I would give it something where the character has thought, has an action, or is faced with a conflict, so they have to make choices to overcome that conflict. So it's less about, like a weight assignment test, it's less about exercises, but it's more how does a character function within an environment, with a scene, with things that he or she is faced with. So it kind of matches more the content of the company that you want to work for. So it kind of goes beyond just the exercises. One of the things, I have a channel, shameless promotion. Check out my YouTube channel, and on there it's a series called How to Take Your Animation to the Next Level. And this is part 3. And you can watch this later on. I'm just going to scrub through this here. There's a little bit of sound there. Turn this off a little bit. This basically the character is putting this into the trash can. And it's a lot about, like you can see here, the clear posing. It's also clear in what she holds, where she has to put it. And then you can see how, I'm turning this off here, the sound. You can see how she fails. And this is the conflict in the scene and how she goes through that. And as a viewer, you're interested in knowing, well, how is she going to overcome this and how she's going to fix this? So this is how I would approach shots where you want to do a weight assignment, give it a bit more purpose, give the character a bit more purpose, give the character a problem. So we are a bit more interested in seeing how is the character going to overcome this. Now, that being said, here, have fun, but don't get lost in animation show-off. It's important that your character shows thought process, that the character's thinking, that they're reacting to the environment, reacting to other people. If you're just going in there and you put in, like overlap and you got your arcs and you put in all those principles to kind of show off, hey, I can animate, then it becomes more about, I'm looking at motion. It's just basically stuff is moving, but it doesn't really feel like it's alive. So I will make sure that is really covered in your shots. Now, this is important. As you start, this is for you if you're a student and you're presenting things to people, obviously at work as well, you have to make sure that your blocking has to show all story points and acting choices in a clear way so that it's not rough in terms of, it's a pose here, pose there. And if you're watching this, you're going, I'm not quite sure what is supposed to happen. What is the character doing? Why are they doing this? So make sure that the timing is right and the acting choices, everything is presented in a clear way so that whoever's watching this understands what you're doing. That being said, I do have a series. Again, this is very shameless today. I do have a series about blocking again on my channel that goes through all those details because to me, it's a very important and very broad topic. And if you struggle with blocking, I mean, I have a list there, as you can see, but if if you watch this, right, and you feel like this didn't cover what I am struggling with, let me know either in the comments there or later on. You can contact me as well. Let me know what you are struggling with when you do blocking. I'm very curious, just because it's an important topic, and it's like one of the main hurdles that people face at the very beginning when they're students. Now, stay until the very end of this Q&A. If any of you are waiting till the very end, I will have a surprise for you that might help you with that. Not going to say more. It'll be a bit of a surprise, but stay until the very end. Now, here's something. This is by Train Corey on Instagram, and I have it is actually here. There's going to be sounds. I'm going to be quiet. So listen to this. This was tagged as blocking. This is for Disney. So this is a blocking pass by Disney animators. Watch this.
Pen just down to your right.
To the right. Thank you.
Welcome to the fuzz.
Is that a bunny cop?
Yeah.
So good. And I think some of my students are here as well. You know this, I show this in my class a lot, but what I love about this is just the extra detail that is put in places where you need it. Like the posing is nice. The timing is cool. If you look at her, Judy here has just enough of a snap in that hand. Watch this. Bloop. So the bounciness and like her character is visible there. When he talks, watch this later on. See that there's no lip sync. It's not important to be that, but important thing is the posing, the wave, and how excited he is. Same thing with the bear coming in. There's just stuff that's missing because it's not needed for the information. But look at the elbows here at the very end. That's a lot of keys for something that is just quote unquote blocking. So again, if you have something where you need to put in more information, then do that. Like blocking doesn't mean that it's going to be rough for the whole thing. You can sell things with a couple of keys where the character just kind of looks over, and that's it. But if you need more, like in this example with the elbows to kind of get the cuteness and all that in there, then really make sure that that is in your blocking. Again, what do you struggle with? I'm very curious because it is a tough, first hurdle to overcome. And let me check the chat just in case. All right, just checking here. So let's move on here. Now, here's a tip that's important as you animate. It's that you have to play a shot before and after the shot that you're animating right now. Meaning that you open a shot and at the very beginning, you might not push play so that you linger on that first frame and you know exactly what is going on. Same thing at the very end. So if you put a shot before and after, you will see how your shot cuts in and how the shot cuts out, if that makes sense. So you need to make sure that the flow of your shot works so that people are not confused when you show something at the beginning or at the end. Let me check here. Something is slightly pixelated. I don't know. Let me quit out of the share just in case. I see here in the it's the movie. I don't know. I'm going to quit out and then come back, and hopefully that works. You can always listen to my voice. Everything is there here. So let me go back here. Back with the sound and back to the slide. Hopefully that should fix it. Question here, you don't know what you mean with blocking. Blocking is basically a first pass presenting the idea of your shot. If a character is jumping, if the character is acting something out, if there's lip sync, that is kind of the main pitch of your idea. Like if you as an actor act something out, that's your take. That's your, like you can always look at blocking passes as different takes for actors. Okay, I can see the stream. It's back. That's good. At least you can read it again here. You struggle with timing choices mostly during the blocking phase. Yes, for sure. For timing stuff, actually, I recommend that you make sounds as you act something out. So if I have, it's if a pantomime, right? You have no lip sync, and you have like I don't know, someone is bumping into something. You can do like you can make the sounds, and either you make this sound over and over and over, and then as you do your play blast and you watch your animation, you can reference it, or you make the sounds and you put that into Maya, and then you can judge that Maya sound. It's kind of like your sync track in Maya, if that makes sense. Let me see here. Your video is lagging. Lagging. I don't know. I see it there. At least the pixelation is gone. Let me continue here. Let me know. And then MSI can also check on their end. Voice is perfect. All right. Well, at least that. Listen to my voice. Play a shot. All right. Here's another one. And this will be a good test. I'm going to quit out of that afterwards just to make sure that the pixelation doesn't change. So this is something about how to take animation next level. This is part 1. So if you watch this, I'm not going to play or scrub through the whole thing here, but this is something in the clip where it talks about how you guide your audience in terms of where are the characters, where do they land, what do people see, surprise at the end. So this is something, I'm going to quit here again. This is something I would recommend that you watch on the channel. This is, again, kind of guiding the audience. This also goes back into your demo reel, right? So you don't have a shot where your character ends on the lower right and then suddenly starts on the upper left. And as an audience, you might miss something. So be careful how that works and how you do the flow between shots, especially on the reel. But that's on that. I highly recommend shamelessly that you go onto my channel to check it out. Let me go back to the slide. And I'm checking here on the stream. It seems okay. Okay. Now, better to start over than to suffer through fixes. You're always faster a second time around. This is something that I have noticed, and that I've noticed with students when they show the work, is that like sometimes you work and then your Maya crashes. Actually, let me know in the comments. Let me know also for the Q&A, how many times have you dealt with Maya crashing and you losing work? It can happen. And it's a pain. So what I notice that when it happens to my students and they got to start over again because they know what they want to do, they're faster the second time around. And this is why planning is really, really important as you animate. You shouldn't really start a shot without knowing what you want to do. Know the setup, know the camera, know the acting choices you want to do, like the acting, like the action of the character, the want of the character, the objective of the character. So you need to really plan as much as you can through reference, thumbnailing, so that you don't struggle as you go through. And again, when something crashes or something happens and people go through it again, then it's usually faster. All right. Speaking of which, play blast, then make a list, then fix, don't noodle around. That's something I am guilty of every now and then, where I make a movie and then I look at it and then I just fixate on one thing and I noodle and noodle and noodle that one thing without taking into consideration what the main objective is of the shot. What is the main, the main story? Does the main story read? Is the main emotion readable? Don't worry about the fingers and stuff. So what I would do is look at your play blast, check it out, and then like write a list. Like you can do this mentally or write it down, what you need to fix. Let's say like 5 to 10 things, and then you do that, and then you do another play blast, and then you go back. So just don't waste too much time noodling things around. It's just for your workflow, basically. Now, push back with critiques, trust your instincts, and maintain your voice and personality. This is, again, for me, and let me know if this might be, you don't want to attack people, but let me know in the Q&A, in the comments there, how have you dealt with this, and how have you fixed this? Meaning that you might be in a class environment where the teacher or the mentor has very strong ideas about your shots, and it's important that you don't let that roll over you, where it's almost like the teacher's animating through you. It's really important that you have your voice in your shot, because ultimately your shot on your reel, the polish is good, it's important, but everybody technically is required to be able to do high level polish animation wise. But what's going to be important is what you bring to your shot. What is your sense of timing? What is your sense of personality, sense of drama, or just the acting choices? And that personality has to come through, right? So yes, I mean, it depends on your personal confidence for sure. That goes, that there are many separate ways of attacking things and how to deal with, especially if it's a mentor or a teacher that you potentially idolize, not personally, but the company where they work at. And I know it's difficult, and I've gone through the same thing, but it's important that just at the end, is this a shot that you wanted to do? And I think if you bring it up in a polite way, I think any mentor, any teacher is going to say, oh yeah, of course, sorry, I didn't want to steer you the wrong way. Let's focus back on what you want to do. And then the teacher's there to help you on a technical point of view and kind of guide you, in broader acting terms. I just don't want to, for me as a teacher, I don't want to animate through you. So if my shot or if your shot looks like what I would have done, it's probably not a good idea. So I know this might be hard depending on where you are, the situation, your confidence, but keep that in mind just for the future. Now, your time to fail and learn. Grades don't matter, your work does. By that, I mean, don't go the safe route at school. Because if you have a C, if it's an American system or, your grading system, whatever you have, like the middle, like right before you fail, Like, that's fine. Like, no one's going to care unless someone cares. Like, maybe your parents care because they're paying for school. Like, of course, they're always very something, subjective or very special circumstances. But generally, I would really focus on pushing the boundaries, learning something, thinking outside the box. Just try to be as creative as you can and not really worry about the grades. Because the thing is, once you work, unless you work on your own and it's your own company, your own job, you're a freelancer or something where you can have your own voice in there, your own choices. Once you work for someone, be it in a small way as a freelancer or in a big way at a bigger company, you will be doing work for someone based on someone else's idea. You're still going to have some creative input, sometimes more, sometimes less. But the school time is really the time where you can really put in your ideas. And that's why I put that there. So don't really worry about the grades, and just do the best you can to fail forward in a way. You know what I mean? Like, just do something where you learn something and the shot might not look great, but you take what you learn and put that into the next shot, and the next shot's going to look awesome, and then it's ready for your reel. Because not everything you do in school is for your demo reel. You have to also leave yourself room to practice and try things out, discard them, and then go back and do really a shot that is purely for your reel. All right, let me just quickly check here. JD, take the movie How to Train Your Dragon 3. Oh, yeah. That's a great trilogy. Fantastic. How to Train Your Dragon is so good. All right. You don't have to clean up your animation curves except when you start, so you can make faster changes. Because every now and then I see people that are a bit concerned about the splines and the curves in a graph editor, if you say if you work in Maya, and when you're done with the shot, that you want to go back and clean things up. Are there any dead keys or anything that you don't need? And to me, that's a bit of a waste of time. Because if the shot is done and you play blast and the movie looks good, like, don't touch anything. Like, for me, that seems like a waste. Except at the beginning. So at the beginning, I will keep things clean so you can make changes. So you show your blocking and there are notes that are coming in. Then make sure that you can make quick changes to address those notes. This is for work, and this is also for students. So for me, keep things clean at the beginning and at the end. It doesn't really matter, as long as you have a good workflow. But that would be my recommendation. Now, if you have problems with keeping your workflow clean, let me know. Again, you can ask your questions there, just in case you have a specific method that fails, or you have a method that really helps. So if you want to post something for other people that is helpful, let people know. That'd be great. Now, once you get past the technical side, it's all subjective. Meaning that at the very beginning, you're going to struggle with curves and arcs and pops and ease-ins and outs. And there's just a lot that you need to do where it might be just a big focus on the technical aspect where the notes are not, they're not, you can't really argue against the pop, if that makes sense, right? Now, let me just quit out of here. I see a note that it's lagging again. I probably should just go in and out of slides. So the beginning, you got your arcs, you got the ease-ins, you got your spacing and all that good stuff. And that is something you need to address for sure. But once you're past that and you're into the acting realm and the performances, then every now and then you can disagree with some things. Like, some people might think something is funny, other people think that's a bit more, less funny. So just know that at the very beginning, you really need to listen to the notes. But then at the end, there could be a moment where it's, open to debate. Let's put it this way. Let me go back. I might have to do this every now and then. And I'm checking here with you guys and MSI as well. So every now and then it's pixelated. It might be because of the length of how long I share and the amount of people that are watching and everything. So let me try that. You let me know, and also MSI is letting me know. Let's go back here. Take frequent breaks. You don't want to burn out or injure yourself. So this is really important in terms of, especially at the beginning, if you're also at work, but if you are obsessed with animation, you're in your shot, you're in your flow state, and you want to continue. It's tricky because watch out, you can hurt your fingers, your wrists, your back, your eyes. You really have to make sure that you take breaks. And I see this sadly too in students that already have arm braces every now and then, or something for their wrists. So just watch out that things don't go out of hand. So take care of your physical and mental health as you animate, so that it's not, it's not just work. I love animation. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, let me stop this here, right? I am like this, where I start in a certain pose like this, and then I end up like close to the screen, scrunching my mouse and everything. Or actually, I have a pen here, and it's horrible, and it's bad. So I'm guilty of that as well. And if you are guilty, maybe you have some tips in terms of how to break up your workflow. Like I drink a ton of water. Can't see the bottle here, right? Which that makes forces me to take breaks as well. I have a timer on my phone now that I'm home, and every hour I just get up, do something, and I come back. So I really try to not stay there. I say try because every now and then I spend hours in front of the screen, and sometimes you just really focus on that. I totally understand. Let me switch back. All right. Now there we go. How do you avoid burnout? So is there anything that you do specifically? I see someone stay hydrated. Yes. Don't overwork yourself. Absolutely. So, do you have a timer on your phone? Is there someone that comes in that shakes your chair to get out of there? Like, I don't know. Let me know. I'm curious too. Like I always need to learn new ways. So anything that you can teach me, that'd be awesome. Then network with peers and teachers online in real life, especially now online, because probably a lot of you are stuck at home. I hope you're not, but like I am stuck at home. There's a lockdown because of the current situation. So I'm pretty much at home all the time. There was a desktop on that stream there. So make sure you check online and you connect with people. And this could be LinkedIn, this could be Twitter, this could be Instagram, whatever your social platform of choice is. Make sure that you go there and you are out there and you promote yourself. Like it used to be that you just kind of send in your reel and that's kind of it. But now it's just you really have to market yourself. And I see a ton of stuff on Twitter that is super, super cool. So follow me on Twitter, not for vanity reasons, but I do retweet a lot of stuff about games and movies and just anything that is animation related, performance stuff, but also job postings. So for me, I have Twitter curated where it's just really art and artists and things that interest me. Then they are a constant source of inspiration, and it just gets me very excited. It also keeps me very humble. There's a lot of good stuff out there that makes me, it kind of kicks my butt. So I got to keep on working harder. Now, you're real. Show it to a lot of people, but every opinion might not be correct. Filter feedback. And again, just in case, I'm going to quit this here. So it's basically have your shots or your reel, show it to people. Let's say 10 people. And 9 out of 10 have the same thoughts. You should probably address that. But if you have 10 opinions, they're all different. Then you just got to make a choice and go, okay, well, this is important to me. This is not important to me. Let me see how I can work on that. So definitely show it to people, and not just animators. Show it to your mom. Your mom might say it's awesome, but show it to people who are not, unless your mom is, versed in animation. So you get a more broader kind of reaction. This was funny. This is not funny. Like whatever you can have there, and then adjust there, and then send it to people who are potentially a bit nerdier, and then you can look at the fine details. That would be my my recommendation. All right, let's go back, share, just to avoid the pixelation. Let me check here. Drink lots of water during animation, for sure. For sure. Drink a milkshake. I like milkshake. Chocolate, eat a lot of chocolate. Never mind. I'm just checking. Pixelated, checking with MSI. No comments. I'm checking my stream. It's good. We see here 87 people watching. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for joining. By the way, thank you for clicking on this and watching me ramble. If you are here, there's a surprise at the end. So stay until the very end. I'm going to give you a little, I'm going to say what, that's going to be a surprise. But I think it's going to be cool. It's going to be helpful. So stay until the very end. Whoever is at the end in the Q&A will get that surprise. Just kind of throw that out there. All right. And when is the end? Someone is asking there. I'm checking MSI. There's no timer yet. It is already fairly far in. I have so much to talk about. So maybe 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes. I'm going to rush through this here. Focus on your reel, scrub through for similar shots. This is a technical thing. So this is a reel by Stefan Schumacher where it's an old reel, but I always love to show this because it's so good. The very beginning has, let me play this here. I'm going to turn off, there's no sound here. This is a technical shot with body mechanics. This is also on my site. I talk about this on my channel. I dissected it. But after that, you can see how it's waist up. It's nicely broken up for a full body, but then your waist up and then your waist up. So just make sure that your reel doesn't have multiple shots like this here. Let me check. All right, checking MSI if there are any comments. All right, this is great to begin with. And again, watch my demo reel series on my channel. I talk about this because it's great to see Body mechanics right away, that you can do full body for weight. Because if you only have waist up shots like that, then you kind of not cheating, but you won't really show off what you can do, right? Also, your reel, we talked about that before. Not everything has to be on your reel. You can cut things out. Just keep the best. Let me just go a bit faster here. Ask people. This is a good one too. So basically, you are at CTN or GDC or whatever, which maybe now you can't anymore, given the situation here. And you're under time pressure. Like me, it's 3:34. I got to rush through things. There was so much to talk about. Make sure that you show the reel and just say, what is the worst thing that is on my reel? I'm going to periodically quit out of this every now and then. So ask, what is the worst? Simon, yes, Simon Kristen, hello. Ask what is the worst shot, just because it gives the person who does the review something to focus on. And then they can say, listen, I watched the whole thing. This was the worst one. Take this out. Just, it also gives someone a focus if they're watching your reel. And for you, it gives you very clear feedback. Okay, it says I can go until 3:45. 10 minutes, baby. Let's do this. Show your best work. Classic, right? It's like your mixtape. If you're old, shout out to people who listen to old tapes and VHS tapes. I'm old. Let me see here. All right. Sticking here to timing, I got all kinds of things streaming here. So, best part first, best part at the end. Everything has to be awesome on a reel, right? But you really have to start really, really strong. Now, this is important, and this is something that I didn't do. No one told me, and I need to know now at work. As you are a student and you do a box lift, a gear change, a weight assignment again, an acting piece, a lip sync, whatever you have, a creature shot, make sure that you write down how long it took you, a week, 2, 3, couple of days, couple hours. Because once you're at work and you have, like a new shot comes up from someone, sorry, I'm checking the tip here. They're going to ask you, how long is it going to take you to do this? And if you have a good idea in terms of, oh yeah, I can do this in a day or two, a week or two, this will help production as well. So I would start really early, kind of paying attention to how long do you work. Let me see here. JD, any tips for opening your own animation studio? No, I don't. That's a great question. I don't have that business information, so sorry, no. Can you accurately guess how long it takes you to animate your shot? That's the question of the day as in the stream right now. So let me know. I'm actually very curious if you have started, and if you do, how you go about it. So let me know. Let's see here. If you want, you can go longer. Okay, I can do longer. I'm just going to talk through the whole thing until someone, that's not true. It's not going to be 10 hours, but maybe a bit longer. I'm going to check my MSI stream, and maybe you guys in the comments in the stream and say, JD, I'm tired of all this. Stop it. So I'm going to wait until someone tells me to stop. All right. Oh, we're almost done with the first half. All right. So this is important for an interview. You can read this yourself, but just quickly, make sure that when you are in an interview environment to ask your animation questions first if the animation supervisor is in the room. Because he or she has stuff to do. They're busy. So ask questions, like, do you have an animation quota? Do you have anything that's production related in terms of animation? You can ask that first. Then you can say, thank you for your time. And then that person can go back to work. And then you're only there with HR. And then you can ask about, benefits and money and all that stuff and everything. So here's the list. Check it out. You can always pause the stream and read this. But make sure that you do ask questions, that it's not just the interview where you are, trying however you can to get that job. It's also, you are there to present your services to that company. So make sure that it's not just one-sided, but do ask questions. Let me check here. I don't see anything pixelated. Let me continue. All right. We're getting closer to the work stuff. Just know, and I tell this all my students, is that at school, it's all about, again, your arcs and it's just the technical aspects of animation that are great. And you just have fun, and I have fun with that as well. I love the process of animating. I love doing frame by frame. I love doing cameras and creatures and effects. I love all that stuff, right? But once you're done and you transition to work, it's going to be different. And there you're going to have to deal with dailies and people, the production environment, clients. It's just, there's a lot more besides just animating. So just be aware of, there's a production environment and you're part of a team. Again, this is if you are in a team environment, unless you're freelancing on your own or you have your own studio and then you're the boss and you got different problems, right? But it's really important that you are ready for that it's not just, I'm animating at my desk and that's it. No, you got to deal with people, deal with deadlines and the stress that comes with it and all that good stuff. This is really, really important. All right, tips for work. This is an important one. This is something I went through. I, at the very beginning, thought, oh, we can just talk about this and we're fine. And then afterwards, it's just not in writing, or it's not something that you thought is going to be covered. So make sure that you ask for things in writing, read your contracts. And if you have any questions, you got to ask questions about the contract. You can't just sign something, but then you're legally binding and you don't want to be in a breach of contract situation. So make sure that you do ask questions. And if you do have questions, put those questions in there. This is, again, going back to what someone said on a chat here. Let me check. It also depends on the confidence, and especially this one. Don't be afraid to negotiate your contract and ask for raises as long as you can bring added value. That's a tricky one because, again, you might not be comfortable. This might not be an environment where that is, not value, but where you feel, safe to do that. Let me just kind of, again, quit out of this just in case. So make sure to kind of check the waters, ask your friends like what to do. Like, this is a tricky thing because no one really talks about the money aspect of the industry and how much you make and all that, but really make sure that you are as confident as you can during the negotiation process of a contract. Let's put it this way. Then let me go back. There's no more sound here, but this is just slides. All right. This is funny. I tell this to everybody. This is kind of funny because have a detailed 5-year plan and have a rough 10-year plan. I sometimes have no plan what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm kidding. But sometimes. I understand you don't have always such a huge detailed outlook. What I mean by this is that, let's say you want to work at Disney, at ILM, at Pixar, at Sony, whatever company you want to work at, right? Once you're there, make sure that you look at the people who are working there, and then what have they done to become a lead? What have they done to become a sequence lead, a character lead, or a supervisor? And look at their skill set. There's probably not just animating. There's more that they can do. And then you can be very specific in terms of what do you learn on the job? Where do you pull off, other resources? What else can you learn to be better, to then be considered to be a lead or supervisor, and so on. If you can, again, there are always very specific environments and situations, but I would recommend that you don't just start. I obviously enjoy once you're hired and you have your job, right? But look at the future just in case for a plan B. You just never know. It's a tough environment. I've been super lucky to be at a company at one for a long time, and I love it. Like, I love where I am. It's not like I want to change. Some people prefer to change. They might have better financial success changing and renegotiating your contracts all the time. I don't see myself as a worker bee because I love working on Star Wars. I love working on Star Trek. I love working right now. I can't say, maybe check ILM, what we're doing. But I love working what we're doing. Like, I have no reason to get out there and do something else. I do like cartoon animation. That could be something that I want to do more, or maybe at a different company. But like, I am very, very happy in terms of how the company has treated me and how I have flourished within the company. But that might not be you. So if you look at that plan, is that something that you can do? Is that something for you? Is the company culture okay for you? Is the structure, like, you can be somewhere where I love it and you hate it, and that's totally normal. So if you do make plans and you just decide to quit and do something else, that is 100% valid. But you have to really make sure that you plan that out so that it works for you, if that makes sense. And if not, let me know in the comments. So if you feel like you have your dream and you get there, and then your dreams are crushed and you realize that's not good, it's 100% valid to stop and do something else. So don't feel like you got to continue based on other people's opinions or expectations, but really make it work for yourself. It's really important. So, but not every career path is obviously going to work for everybody else. It's very specific and to each individual, if that makes sense, hopefully. All right. Good one too. So, good one. Oh, I wrote this. Don't expect your shots to be on your reel. That's an important one. I'm going to quit out of this just in case for the pixelation here. My dream is to work with Nintendo. Oh, love Nintendo. That would be fantastic. Who's this? The 3 Dimensions. Shout out to the 3 Dimensions and his goal. Speaking of goal, not really. But stay until the very end of the Q&A. I got a surprise for people who are staying. So don't expect your shots to be on your reel, meaning that you have a shot and it's awesome, but it's a shot that you're doing for someone else. Again, if you're working at a bigger company or anybody where you work for someone, meaning that this is a shot for someone else's demo reel. You mean like you're doing something where you're fulfilling someone else's vision. So don't be, don't hang on to your shot when you get notes that change that shot, because then you might be seen as difficult to work with or just, like resistant to notes. You're always doing the shot for someone, for the team, for the production, for the show, for the director, and make sure that that is your focus. And don't feel like, oh, I want to hold on to that idea because it's going to serve me well on my reel, and that can backfire. Obviously do something great so it is for your reel, but really make sure that you don't forget who this is for and what the focus is. I'm screen sharing my own thing here. Hold on. Let me switch over back to the next slide. Checking. Chat's okay. I want to work for Adult Swim. Ooh, nice. I'm happy to stay even for no surprise at the end. Shout out to Sarah. Thank you for just staying. That's awesome. I love this. Shout out to you. I've heard it's smart to only apply to what job you want. Pixar, Animalogic, MSI, or Dream Studios. Well, I mean, I would apply. I can see my stream where I'm screen sharing my own thing. You should have a goal, and a big goal. You should have the major company you want to work for. Let me quit this again here. Where you want to work, like you said here, you want to work at Pixar, Animalogic, all these places. That's great. Chances are it's going to be really difficult to get there, but it's a good goal to have. And you might have to go to other companies, do different things, but that's your end goal. You want to get there. It's great to dream big and really work hard to get there. But like I said before, it's not just your work. It really comes down to timing. Is the company looking for it? Are is everything lining up for you to work there? There are many factors that you are not in control of when it comes to that. Cover solutions to problems. That's an important one at work where, like your shop breaks. I would highly recommend that you try different things before you go to your lead or your soup and say, hey, it doesn't work. But then they have to deal with it. So if you do something where the shop breaks, address all the notes, address everything you've been asked to do. And if you feel like you have a better idea, then show 2 shots at least. Then you can say, this is what I was asked to do. And here's what I'm presenting, maybe multiple options to fix things. And that way you take the burden off other people. You're there to serve the team, and you're a problem solver and a team player. I think this one is a really important one that actually my supervisor, one of them that I work with many, many times told me. And it really stuck with me and is really, really important. So I emphasize that slide. Watch how you defend your shot. That's mostly where, this is again, I'm guilty of this, right? Where you have your shot, and you present it, and someone might say, do this, this, and this, and you feel like you did it, and then you end up saying, yeah, I did that. Like, don't say that. You'll be like, or, oh, I can push this. Like, if someone has a comment, regardless of you put that in there, an anticipation, an acting choice, whatever, if they make that comment, it means that it didn't read. Doesn't mean that it's a critique on your character or your animation skills. It's just for now, for what that person that's looking at the shot is looking for, it didn't work for them. And then it's okay. Take that note and then address it and then do better next time. Dailies: read the room, evaluate the show and the animators. That's for something, and that's times when new people come in the dailies room. You have to look at that you don't just offer notes all the time. Make sure that is the shot that's being presented at the end of its cycle, like ready for final. Maybe you don't want to bring up any notes because they're just trying to final the shot. If it's the shot at the very beginning, and if the animator is presenting it is open for feedback, then, raise your hand and bring in notes that might be massively destructive to the shot idea, but that might make the shot better. But what I'm saying, just look at, is the person receptive to this? Don't just throw out ideas, and make sure that you know where the shot is in terms of its history, if it's the beginning or the end, but that's really important. I actually take reference and show the choices and see what the soup wants to take the shot. Shout out to AD. That's great. If your work environment allows that, even better, but then you don't have to animate anything. There's less time spent, so just act things out, sketches, whatever you have, or when you're stuck with the shot, then they can make choices, and then you can hone in on the idea that you want. That's a great comment there. And actually leave a question, the comment, or just a comment in general for other people. What is your process? I'm curious. What do you do to present things quickly so that the lead, the soup, whoever, your teacher can get a buy off or can tell you what they like about your ideas? That will be interesting to know, different workflows. No small shots. Do your best at all times. Sometimes you get a shot and you feel like it's a nothing burger, as we call it. But then you see someone else who does that shot and then ends up being awesome. And I've seen this many, many times where I go through, whatever I see, and you're like, that might not be that interesting, and ends up being fantastic. So it really depends who gets the shot. And to me, I try to attack every shot with the same enthusiasm. It doesn't matter if it's like a 15-frame shot with 50 frames of handles. That doesn't happen. But whatever you have, give it your all. Just try to do the best you can. Let's see here. Never stop improving. It's important to keep learning. I'm going to stop this just in case. That is for something, and I've seen this. I've been at ILM for 16 years. Yes, math. I'm going to stop the stream where I think. When my brain has trouble thinking about that. 16 years, I think. Closing in on 17, I would say. And what I have noticed is that new people come in and they know a ton of stuff. And I feel I'm just the old timer who doesn't know any of those new things and tools and how to do things. So it's important that when you are continuing at a company, just to look at what are people doing, how can I stay competitive, not in a negative way, but like how can you add more value to yourself, and how can you be better? Do you want to learn something new? So just don't stagnate. I guess that would be the note here. That's one. What other disciplines besides animation have you learned? Question for you. I want to know. Also, I want you to stay till the end because there's a surprise at the end. But it's again important that like I used to just animate characters. I mean, in school it was just cartoony stuff, and it got thrust onto a Star Wars show for my first show, and there was creatures and mocap and vehicles and everything. But as I moved forward, I think Star Trek was one of the ones where I really got into animating cameras, and I love animating cameras so much. And as I move forward, I look at the supervisors at the company, they do so many other things. And you got to keep going and learn more things. And I need to do this. I'm horrible at that. I need to learn more, like the other disciplines. So I'm curious, if any of you that are watching this here are further along in their career, what else have you picked up? What else did you find that was helpful? Checking the stream every now and then. So I'm very curious. Rigging or simulation stuff or sound design to create your own previs and editing. I don't know. I'm curious. Here's what people do. Don't work for free. I understand why people do. Sometimes you just want to prove yourself and you have no other choice because you need that second job or the job after your current project and you want to work hard. I totally understand. Just know that you are also telling or showing signals to the company that they can take advantage of you in a way. It kind of devalues the work. It kind of changes, like bidding stuff where you think this shot took only a week and then it actually took you a week and 3 days. And then the next time they think it's a week and you don't cheat and you can't finish that shot in time. I know it can backfire for you. It's not good for the company. Just generally, like you don't want to be the one that goes, you work for exposure. Like exposure doesn't pay bills. But again, there's many schools of thought where it's okay for exposure. Again, it's very dependent on where you are, what company and everything, but it's a tricky thing. If you can, don't work for free. At the same time, I understand why you do. I understand. It's not black and white, but it's a tricky thing. This is very specific. Shout out to myself for putting this in there. Oh, wait, I see it pixelated. Let me stop this. All right. And let me go back. I hope that fixes it. Sorry about this. We'll see if that fixes it. Factor in motion blur render time when it comes to deadlines. So that is something very specific to me where, I kind of know how long it takes for some things to get the shots done. That's what I said before. If you write things down, have a plan early on in terms of, your shot flow. I'm looking at the stream to see if the pixelation has been fixed. I hope so. What happened to me was that longer ago, a couple of years ago, is that I thought, yeah, I know this. And then you render, you play blast the shot. It's not pixelated. Shout out to myself for fixing this. The blur aspect, the motion blur, just added, I don't know how much time to the shot. And then I don't remember if I really missed the deadline, but I might have. And that just stuck with me. So if you have this, just, I don't know, I wanted to throw that out there. It can be tricky to really look at how long does it take you to work, but all the other factors until the shot is where it needs to be in the edit room or whatever. All right. I got word from the stream here that I'm going to quit. Not quit. I'm going to do a walk around the room. Who wants to see a walk around the room? And then we can get to at the end of the presentation. I do want to log back in, though, just because I want to show you at the end. Let me just go through this quickly. That is for stuff. Yes. All that stuff. You know what? I'm going to go back. This is being recorded, so I'm going to linger on this, and then you can just pause. You can still see the slides. Look at that. Shout out to myself for doing this. See that? Yeah. All important shots, because I do want to get to your questions, because it's not just about me. Like, who wants to just hear me talk? I want to know what you think, and I want to help you. So I'm just going to go through all of these, right? This is an important one, right? Don't make fixes that haven't been asked for, because then you change what people liked in the shot. It's an important one. Anyway, work-life balance, blah, 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 be nice, Be respectful. Again, you can pause those slides and you can see this. And the surprise is after this. So I'm not going to show it right now. I'm going to wait for MSI to give me the go-ahead. But this should be at the very end because we do want to look at things. And I believe I'm going to show the surprise at the very, very end. But I'm going to look at the stream of MSI. I'm going to quit this quickly here. Stop sharing. Now, let me see here. What's the stream saying? Yes, sir. Me. Oh, me too. You want to see the room? All right, let's do this. This is going to be super clumsy, by the way. This is a webcam. Let me stop this, by the way. This is the room. Bam. So I'm going to take off my headphones. I can't hear anybody. If MSI yells at me because I tripped and I pulled the cable and everything breaks down, I can't hear anything. The mic here, my swivel mic, only goes so far. So I'm going to take my camera, walk around, and try to speak louder, and then come back. Let's see here. Shout out to JD for giving a shout out to JD. Yes, shout out to Blasa96 for being awesome. It's like an Inception style thing here. So let me take off the headphones, and don't forget, stay till the very end. And also, we're going to talk about the creator submissions. I'm going to do some critiques about that. Critiques, kind of go through what I saw, what I liked. Make sure that you submit because you can win a You can win this monitor, by the way, that I'm shaking right now. You can win this. It's a massive widescreen. It's fantastic. And the machine down here, it's great. I'm not just saying this because I'm doing an MSI presentation. I'm using this every day. It's awesome. So let me grab my camera. I'm going to walk you through some of the things that I have. So my ears. All right, so let's take this. I'm so loud. Like, you have headphones on. I don't understand how loud I am. Let me see here. Looks amazing. It's organized. Awesome. Okay, cool. I have a massively long cable. I'm trying not to shake this. All right. All right. Let me see. This is the monitor, right? This is my mic here. This monitor, you can win this. It's fantastic. Also, shout out to MSI and my cable salad setup here. Machine. This is my son's little homeschool thing as we are with coronavirus shutdown. I'm doing this here. This is my desk. You have, of course, nerdy things, nerdy pins, more nerdy pins and other stuff. I'm a big Star Trek fan. I don't remember the artist who did this. I apologize. I would have done a shout out to that. Shout out to Elgato here, which is also part of the winner thing. I have so many things. I got a stream deck. I got the light. I got so much. You got my little hats here. And then I got my little Alexa here. Don't say anything. No, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Turn everything off. There you go. That is when I listen to music when I work. And then you got, here, let me go through that. Waste too much time. But I can't see my screen. You got my little maquettes here. Movies. Nintendo Labo. I love Nintendo. Shout out to Nintendo. All right. Then I got my nerdy setup here. This is, I bring this vinyl down here and my little one plays TV because all the game stuff is in here, PlayStation and Nintendo. Oh, that is a shameless self-promotion as I'm looking at my screen here. These are my 15 years at Disney. Thank you so much. Kind of a cheat. And it wasn't exactly 15 years, mostly 15 years at ILM. Then we have more maquettes. Let me see if I can show this. Looking at the screen a bit. Lots of books that I don't always have time to read. Shout out to Nintendo. Nintendo 64. Let me know in the comments. Who knows Wave Race? Who knows Golden Eye? Those are classics. Yes, and I do have CDs. Lots of Star Wars, Star Trek. Lots of other CDs. Nerdy things. More nerdy things. This is the nerdy desk. I'm going to look backwards here to see what I'm filming. Lots of nerdy things here. Game stuff. Very nerdy. Old. Shout out to Intellivision. Who knows? Intellivision. Lots of books, different things. Then it comes down to animation, Star Trek, more Star Wars. Look at that. What else is here? The backside. More. Who knows? Blake and Mortimer. Fantastic. Here's a movie I haven't watched yet. Very, very shameful. I do want to watch it, and I'll watch it very soon. Again, that's the desk here, and that is my setup. Oh! Apologize for wiggly camera stuff as I am adjusting it back to where I was. All right, headphones back. I am back here. All right. So quiet with the headphones on. It's like I'm yelling. I see a delayed stream. Yes, I'm talking about I Lost My Body. The soundtrack, by the way, is so good. And I know I need to watch the movie, but now that I've listened to the soundtrack, can't wait. It's great. Let me see here. Epic Room. Why, thank you. Cool Night. That's right. Love Blake and Mortimer. Shout out to Florent. You know it. Okay, let's see. Let me check what is going on here. Whoa, questions are coming in. Ooh, I Lost My Body is awesome. That's cool. All right. Let's see here. I believe we are in the Q&A session. Let me expand this and see what people have asked. Oh, I love those questions. Let's expand. Okay. I want to ask JD a question about the meeting. I want to know for Junior Reel, do you need to put in body mechanics animation or only focus on acting? Oh, absolutely focus on both. So you want to have a like an overall immediate, like a showcase of you can do body mechanics with that. It's almost like you need to show you can animate, right? Because I know you need to show performance stuff, but you have to have both. You need to show weight shifts. You need to show this like weight in characters, not just in lifting things, but just in how they move. It could be something where people fight. If it's something for an VFX reel, something weighty with a creature. Yeah, and for acting, you don't just want to, like I said before, you don't want to be just, waist up and just act out stuff like that where you never show weight shifts or anything that's physical. Because you can do a lot of pantomime stuff or even lip sync in acting that is physical and has weight. It doesn't have to be just a line where someone talks. It could be a line where someone runs or jumps or does something. So I think that is totally fine. Let's see here. All animation by yourself? If not, how do you assign or divide your production with team members? Depends. For us at work, everything is done to some degree. I mean, if you watched The Rise of Skywalker, there are lots of ships in the background, like all that massive fleet that came in. That is not done by me. The most I added was maybe 220 assets. It's still a lot of ships around, but usually you're responsible for everything in the shot, at least at Island. But if there are other people that can help out with crowds, like always aspects, like we're not in charge of sim, cloth or muscle or stuff like that. But we also don't have specific like fixed animators or background animators who just go into the detail for polish or who add crowds in the back. Or even if you have two people talking, one animator is doing this, the other animator is doing this. It's usually you do everything. It's not divided like that. It's a good question though. And how do you assign or divide? Well, it's basically the animation supervisor and also talking with the leads. You kind of look at the group, the team, and then you cast shots and you kind of decide this person's good for this. We just try that. What's the person's schedule? Does this person have one shot or 10 shots? And there are a lot of factors that go into assigning shots. Any tips for opening your own animation studio? That was what came in before. I don't. I have never opened an animation studio, so I don't know. I would get in contact with, I don't know, that's hard, but I would at least follow Taiko Studio. They did one small step. It's one of the recent ones. Xiaofu Zhang, shout out to Xiaofu, who started his own company, and maybe follow them and look at, and maybe you can ask. He's a really nice guy, by the way. He used to be my student, and he's a really nice guy. Shout out to Xiaofu. Maybe he can help you, or at least give you pointers, because he's going to have a lot more experience than me. Speaking of experience, wait till the very end. A little surprise that combines something with experience that might be helpful to you. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Hey, if Blender is easier to use for animation, or is Blender easier to use for animation than Maya? Can't respond to that because I haven't used Blender. I'm sorry. How much is the salary for junior animators? Ooh, money. That's a good question, and I don't know how things are now. When you kind of check online, I would go into glassdoor.com. That's usually pretty good, but it gives you a little bit of a ballpark at least. Like, no one really talks about money. So out of like 50 or 60,000 US dollars, that's always kind of the number that floats around. And I don't know how that translates into hourly. That's salaries. If you're hourly, I don't know, $24. Like I really don't know what current people make or junior animators. I don't know, but it's an important question. So I would probably start with Glassdoor, and then see if you can connect with people and at conferences, and maybe if someone is more open to talk about that. And also it depends if they're allowed to, depending on the contract. So it's a bit tricky there. If you want to get into studio, like Pixar or ILM, should you apply to any position to get in the door, like production assistant? I personally would not, just because what if you are a great production assistant and they want to keep you as an assistant, and then you become a production manager and a coordinator and producer? I mean, this is a whole track in of itself, and who knows how easy it is to switch. That being said, I'm sure people have done it, so I'm not going to say no, but you might as well spend time animating as much as you can. But if you feel like you still want to learn more, because the thing is, it's always good to know more than one thing. Unlike me, I barely know animation, and that's it. You might as well start as a production assistant. You get to know more about production. You have more of a behind-the-scenes look while you animate on the side, and maybe then through that, showing it to the soups, you can apply and get in. I mean, again, I feel like I said no just because I'm a foreigner. So when I came here, I had to focus on school to work and getting a work permit once I graduated. And this is why my initial reaction was no, because to me it felt like you want to focus on getting your job to get a work permit to then get sponsored and so on and so on. But if you do have the possibility to do that, and you have more freedom in terms of your job choices, yeah, why not? Could be awesome. I would like to ask if you can share your experience in regards to realistic animation for VFX. For example, creature animation for live action. My experience. It's a bit broad. What can I tell you? I can tell you that it's very, very hard because you are putting elements on screen that have to live next to real elements, be it a set, be it objects, be it actors or cameras. So any slight deviation in timing in your mechanics in whatever you animate is going to expose it as fake. That's the problem. Like in VFX, it might not always be like performance heavy, like how many people, shout out to people who've seen this in my comment, have you seen, like how many times have you seen a creature going right? Put that in the comments. I don't know if you've seen this. So there's nothing really, there's not that many layers to performance when it comes to a creature roaring, which puts more onus on you and making it more interesting. But the technical aspect of making it real looking is very, very tricky. Versus like in cartoony, I wouldn't say the animation is easier, but you have a bit more leeway in terms of your arcs and ease-ins and just kind of the flow of it and the animation, the technical side of it to some degree. But then it's much harder because you constantly have to focus on performance. To me, more than in VFX creature animation. So like one aspect is, there's pros and cons for both. The tech aspects and the being real and making sure that the illusion doesn't break, especially when you have a photoreal render, that's really hard, but it might not always be very performance heavy. That being said, like Planet of the Apes movies, shout out to Weta, so good. So, I mean, again, you might have very performance heavy stuff in VFX. Again, then going back to cartoony stuff where you really have to think about the acting choices, but also your line of action and the readability and the stylization and caricature aspect of it. So you might think, well, some arcs are easier because it's like that, the style is different. But then you have so much more to think about in terms of appeal and just the readability and the cartoony style aspect of it and the performance, I mean, it's like, I don't know if you've seen Onward. Let me know if you've seen Onward. I was watching recently, probably the last one that I saw that was anime was Onward. And the end of Onward, no spoilers, it was so good. Everything came together, and the emotional performance and how the characters related and how it ended and how it wrapped up and just how the characters, it was a family moment. I don't want to spoil too much. It was so good. It was so good. So again, each style and each movie is going to have a different set of challenges. And in VFX, it's going to be, as a group, a different kind of challenge versus in more feature animation versus game versus VR, AR. So everything's going to be a bit different. So I hope that answers your question. Let me check the chat. And let me check the time too. All right, because I'm going to go through some of the artwork stuff as well. So it says here, answer any questions you want. Let me just quickly check it. I'm seeing someone is typing. I want to make sure that I make sure everything's okay. JD, how do you keep your room and PC so clean? Well, There's a duster, there's a vacuum, there is, I don't know if it here's in my closet, the cloth. I mean, I clean up. It's my office, and I wanna keep it clean. It's a good question though. Let me scroll up a bit here. Let me see. With the pandemic, whoa, where is my mouse here? What are the skills you need to be a supervisor, and how long does it take to become a supervisor? That really depends. You can come in from an outside, where you already had somewhat of that experience, and then get hired and flourish as a supervisor. If it's internal, I mean, you have to show, and I'm an associate animation supervisor officially on one show and unofficially on some other shows, like things you help out. So I'm not a full soup. So there's a lot more that comes with in terms of organizing the meetings, the shot selections, the casting, making sure you have consistency in terms of all the performances and the look, especially if it's broken up into different companies or different sequences. You have to really think about bidding, like how much will the shot cost. So there's a lot of stuff, and also more that I can't talk about because it's company stuff that I can't really talk about. But there's just a lot more that goes into it than just animating. And how long? I don't know. That can be a couple of years. I don't know. That really depends on how hard you push, how good you are. You might show extreme leadership skills and get fast tracked. So that's a tricky question here. Let me see. With the pandemic situation, what do you think is going to happen to the animation industry? That's a good question. Well, a couple of things. First of all, completely unrelated in terms of animation, but since we're already doing shout outs to all the people at the front line, helping out and being at the hospitals and cleaning, and holy moly, like I say all this, right? I'm in my office, spoiled as I'm still able to work, while other people are forced to work because of their salaries. They have to pay bills. And then the people at hospitals, I mean, massive shout outs to everybody who are keeping us safe, keeping us healthy. So I do want to take a quick break and say thank you so much. Because really, all the stuff that I talk about here is just peanuts compared to what those people are going through. Just wanted to throw that out there. And what's going to happen, dare I say, I think animation, as you can see, I can do it at home. I don't know if for a whole production, what's going to happen, for instance, with like music, like a whole orchestra, how's that going to work? You want to record each instrument separately? Not a musician. I don't know how cumbersome that's going to be. I'm sure it is. But I feel like animation might have a bigger push, hopefully, I hope, as an animator. Just because you do things at home, you can do things at home. There's still aspects where you got to be together, but it's different than being on set with a group of people with exposure and, a bit more of a dangerous environment. So subjectively, I hope that the animation industry is going to actually get a push. But how quickly this is going to happen, I don't know. So like, everything's going to happen right now in terms of animation. You still got to find the scripts, the productions, the actors, like salary negotiations, everything that goes into a production, and then rewrites on the scripts and storyboards. I mean, this is such a long process. So I don't see this going right away. And in a month, 50,000 new animated movies are coming up. But I think there's a good chance that there's more of a push. I hope. Any tip when passing from blocking to spline? Make sure that when you do blocking, it's in step to constantly go back and forth. Just make sure you have enough information between the breakdowns and the ease-ins and all the in-between, so that you don't have a shot where a character sits and then suddenly stands. Because if you spline, it's going to be going up. There's zero information in terms of what kind of stand-up is this, or in terms of, or sit-down, or whatever, right? Am I tired getting up? Am I excited to get up? Is it, do you lean first over there to go over there? Is someone has like one leg and it's a different way of getting up with a cane then? Or is someone that's overweight or really skinny? Like, those are all different mechanics, and that's something you have to communicate with your breakdowns, ease ins and outs, and all the in-betweens. So it's not just golden poses basically, or all your extremes. So I would say that's the main thing that I see when you switch, that you got to make sure that there's enough information where if you switch, it's just spliny, right? But there's nothing massively different about your shot. I would say that. Let me see here. For the blocking phase, do you key all controllers? Yes, except fingers and faces. And all the attributes on each key pose, or let the auto key feature just key the change attributes? I usually, just checking MSI stream, I'm good to go. Seems like yes. Again, thanks to all of you. 161 watching now. That grew. Thank you. And I think the Facebook aspect is growing as well. Lots of people there. So quick stop. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my Swiss nonsense. I was born in Switzerland, but that's why I'm saying Swiss nonsense. I'm Swiss. My mom is French. My dad is Swiss. I'm from Switzerland. I don't know. Maybe I should have led with who I am. Hi, my name is JD. So, yes, I do block every controller. Again, not in terms of every single detail things on fingers and stuff, but I do usually set a key on the major controllers, and I try to use as few as possible at the beginning so you can make faster changes. I wouldn't go into all your detail controllers when you do initial blocking. So I would try to use as little in terms of amount as you can. And usually what I do is I key every 4 frames with the poses that I want already with the timing in mind. It's going to be rough, but it's also going to be weird because it's every 4 frames. But basically, if I look at my timeline in Maya, it's going to be very clear, just those ticks in the timeline. And then I move these around to really finesse the timing so that I have like the main pose, a couple of breakdowns, extreme, squash, and stretch, anticipation, all that stuff is in there so that I have the basic animation there, including the timing, by just adjusting those main controllers, the ticks in the timeline. And then when everything is ready and it feels right, then I go layered a lot of times where I do root and then the chest, then the head. I go big first, so roots, chest, head, then arms and legs, or legs and arms, depending on the action. But then I really go one by one and then double check and then go back and forth. And that's kind of my thing. Unless it's at work and it's like there's a plate. So there's a live action play with the actors and stuff, and I know the beginning and the end of the shot. There's a specific shot length. Then I do pose to pose, because I need to hit certain storytelling poses, and I need to make sure that they all fit within that shot length. Then I try to figure out how do I make this work in terms of the timing, so it looks real, or the performance is entertaining, like TIE fighters fly, like whatever it is, right? So I got to kind of look at what needs to be fit into a shot within that restriction. And then still I go back to layered. I also shoot a lot of reference. I don't always use it, but I at least act it out. Even if you don't shoot reference, I act it out so I know how it feels. Because you don't want to just do something, or at least I don't. I want to know how it feels, and then when I see what I'm animating, I act out what I'm animating. That's something I tell my students all the time. Act out your play blast, so that you get to see, oh, my animation moves really slowly. That does feel uncomfortable moving this. Then you get a bit of a better result in that. I hope that helps. I think, hopefully. Let me see here. There was a question, tips for connecting and messaging with other animators, creators on LinkedIn. Specifically LinkedIn? Well, Eddie Anderson, who's actually, shout out to Eddie, who's in there. He's super helpful. And he clearly has answers there. So yeah, Discord channels, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. If their DMs are open, you can always ask them. I mean, 99.9% of people in the animation industry are super nice. Probably not 99.9. Like, who knows? There's one guy out there. I am the jerk. But you can ask them questions, and usually you get answers right away, or even if they're later. I'm guilty of that I answer them really late, but I really try to answer everything, even if it's years after. But I think people are very eager to help. Discord, for sure. Shout out to Sir Wade. Talk about animation channel. That's awesome. So go on YouTube, check out Sir Wade. Lots of tips and tricks and tutorials and walkthroughs, and he's on Twitch as well. Fantastic. Check him out. Let's see here. If possible, keep short and go for review. All right. I don't know if MSI wants me to read out their notes, but everybody has also more to do today, so I don't want to hold on to too many things here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remind everyone, I'm going to go all the way down to the chat. What's down here? What are some common misconceptions you think people have in first entering animation industry? It's a good question. I'm going to answer that one. It really depends what company, what style. It's a good question. Misconceptions. I think just know that if you are at a company, if you are somewhere where you are in a team, right? If you are working with one or more people, you're going to have to consider what they are saying, and your ideas will have to mesh with other people. There's going to be a compromise of your ideas. And I don't mean compromise as a negative thing. You can always combine multiple ideas and then make something better than what you came up with. But I think just make sure that it's like I said before, you're never home. Like, you're at work all the time. You're going to see your family less than your coworkers. It's a team environment. You got to make sure that you are able to work with other people, listen to other people, and implement other people's notes. At the same time, maybe the misconception is that that's what you have to do. You don't. I mean, if that doesn't work for you, then quit. You know what I mean? Do something else. Do your own studio, your own company. Go on YouTube, do your own thing. I mean, look at Sir Wade. I don't know. I saw them talk about Sir Wade, and he's not here. But I believe full-time YouTube is his full-time job right now. I'm sure he does other stuff as well. But I mean, there are people that have massive careers on YouTube. So I mean, look at what works for you. And if that doesn't work, find something else. There are many, many avenues out there. Let's see here. Oh, someone mentioned Bo Pratt. Shout out to the Pratt brothers, Animation Mentor. Shout out to Animation Mentor. I don't know why I did this here, but fantastic animation school. I happen to be a mentor, full disclosure, Animation Mentor. But holy moly, that's a great community of helpful people. So definitely shout out to Animation Mentor. Let's see here. Okay, I'm still good to go. Let me just quickly read, because I always want to help people and read everything. Oh, Sir Wade is doing a 24-hour stream. Yes, he is. Stamina, my friend. Check it all out there. Virtual animation going to make a breakthrough in the industry. I hope. I've been really busy with the webinars and multiple things that I'm doing at work and everything. And I'm almost done with Half-Life, Alex. My quest is in the cloud. I'm looking down. It's usually down there. And by the way, shameless, but I'm going to say, MSI, the desktop that you can win at the end, not at the end, but if you do the Creators Awards, you're going to look at right now, just to let people know, they're great examples, but they're not that many out there for the Creators Awards for the contest that I'm judging. So just throwing it out there, you have a really good chance that you're going to win. And if you do, you can win the desktop that I'm using right now. And the reason why I'm saying this is that it works if you have your Quest and you can do Oculus Link on that computer. Because I'm playing Half-Life Alyx and many other things hooked up to that MSI Prestige P100s. That was a corporate shout out right there. But it is really, really cool. Then again, I don't have to say this. I mean, MSI has been really, really nice, but they never pressured me to say anything nice. And I can honestly say it's an awesome computer and it works flawlessly. And I love Half-Life Alyx. Shout out to Valve and everybody else out there. Jamal Bradley, shout out to Jamal, who did awesome work on it. This is random shout outs right now, but it's really great. And if you, going back to virtual animation, I hope there's more coming, that there's more work and there are more ways of animating potential or creating work in there. I really hope that is being pushed more, but everybody knows within that industry that it's a slow progression. Headsets are expensive, even though the Quest is cheaper, it's good. But it's a big thing. It's not just glasses, you know what I mean? So it still has a learning industry. But that being said, look at how cell phones were, a long time ago. And now we have those tiny things here, right? So I'm sure in a couple of years, it's going to be bananas what VR can do. And I'm a massive fan of VR. And I'm very excited in terms of where that's headed, I have to say. Let me see here. Animation Mentor is amazing. Shout out. Oh, Adam Denning is in the chat. Shout out to Adam. Nicely done. Let's see here. Just checking. I'm going to go to the Creator Awards, and I think it should be okay. I'm sorry if I missed things. I'm scrolling through. There's a lot of stuff in there. I apologize, and I thank you for being here and asking questions and doing all that stuff. I get a shout out. Yes, like Oprah style. Shout out to Oprah. You get a shout out. All right, let me switch over and do something else here. I'm going to show you again. Let me do a couple of things here. Let me go and share this. And I believe I have MSI's blessing to do this. So here, share this. That's the site. And if you're wondering what are the tabs, I got my cell phone here. So go on to the MSI, you can see here, Landing Creator Awards. So check this out. Scroll down. You can see what is going on, what is happening. Shout out to next one, Luba. It's great. Also, a video editing one. Check out. This is a recorded one with Cinecom. It's great. Absolutely fantastic with him. Luba is next. Shout out to Luba. And here are the prizes. Holy macro. Look at this. Prestige P100 and this mod. That's the mod that I'm using right now, which is insane. Okay, hold on. Let me just go crazy. Let me show you a behind the scenes of what is going on. Okay, ready? I'm going to do a screen share of my screen in 3, 2, 1. Bam! Okay, I'm going to hide some of the things here just because I don't know if you want to see all this here. But my slides, I'm ready here. Also, shout out to NVIDIA. I'm using, not just yet, because it's not too bad, that AI thing about the voice. It's awesome. But look at this. I can fit all of this, shout out to Luba, onto my screen. It's absolutely fantastic. Let me just bring back the chat so I don't miss anything that MSI is telling me here, just in case. But as you can see, I can fit so much. I have the whole thing up there. I got the outline, I got the chat, I got my slides. And I used to have a 4K. It was taller. It was a bigger monitor in terms of the height. But I have to say, I really like the widescreen aspect, because at work we have 2 separate ones, and it's kind of like you do a lot of this, and it's okay. I can usually work with one and then move over to the next for graph editor stuff or emails, and I just focus on one. And it's kind of the same thing with this one, where my main thing is in the middle, and then on the sides I have other things, iTunes to play music, my email, works, a graph editor, and the main thing is there. And I gotta say, I really like this. And actually, if you go to my channel, I did a kind of an unboxing walkthrough of the computer and the monitor. Monitor, not so much. Apologize. There wasn't so much where Simon in the house. Shout out to Simon. Shout out to Pixar. There's so many people at Pixar that have made a transition from the academy where I teach. They're being students. Shout out to Mr. Beek. I believe he just started there. Simon is a fellow Swiss man. Grüezi Simon. Es freut mich, dass du da bist im Chat. Großartig, dass du da bist. Yes, absolutely. Shout out to Simon, Stefan, Mike McCarovich. Random shout outs to people at Pixar. There are so many talented, awesome people there. It's fantastic. Anyway, I had to throw that out there. It's awesome that Simon's there. I love it. But anyway, go on my channel, and then you can see the walkthrough of the computer and a little bit of the monitor, mostly unboxing. And it's really cool. Again, I'm not saying this because I have to, because I have the computer already. It's not like they're gonna withhold it from me if I say something else. No, they gave it to me a long time ago, like Christmas or something. So I've been using it for 4 months at least. It's really cool. Why am I saying all this? Why am I rambling? Why you are so patient in this chat? Let me go back here. Because you can win it, okay? 3D animation, you can win. This is what I have. It's absolutely awesome. It's so cool. You see the timeline, you see the deadline, what is happening here, and these are the submissions, and I want to go through those submissions. So these are all that are here. Not that many. They're enough. It's good stuff compared to, holy macro, look at all of this. You might argue maybe you can also get that done faster than 3D animation. Anybody doing 3D animation knows how long it takes, right? So let me go back. 3D animation here, and check this out. All right, let's quit this. And just in case, stay until the very end, and you get a little bit of tips and tricks, potentially, spoiler. But if you stay until the very end, you can do something to get something, and hopefully that will be helpful to you. If you're a professional, it's probably old news. But for people who are starting out and you need kind of help, I have a bit of a thing. I'll make sure to know that at the very end. I think JD thought you were Simon Christensen. Oh, that's right. That's right. It's not. It's Simon Christensen. Sorry. Shout out to that Simon Christensen, but also shout out to Simon Kristen, who's at Pixar. That's awesome. Yes. Who's this? Susan. Susan, who's always there to help me. Also, student of mine. Fantastic. Shout out to Susan. Yes. I was so happy. Not that I'm not happy that the other Simon's here. I thought a fellow Swiss man was here to say hi. That was fantastic. But anyway, I'm not Swiss. I'm from Denmark and I don't have work. I know. Simon, listen, you're another Simon. I thought that was you, but you're very patient. You don't have to be Swiss, by the way. It's totally fine. All right. Let me move to the work. So I'm going to open up one by one, and then MSI can tell me how much time we have. Let's see here. Okay, stay tuned. I'm going to start. So there are a couple of things that are kind of cool because it's a different range of work, which was surprising. I don't know why I was expecting potentially just kind of not creature stuff, but kind of character stuff, but different types of animations. So I want to go through a couple of them so you can see what people are doing. And this is there. All right, let's share this with sounds. And let's play this. And this is by Afriki Idiyansa. I apologize for butchering names here. Shout out to Sarah. I'm German. Ja, ist auch nicht schlecht. All right, so let's play this. All right, so I'm gonna keep going here. So, just have a lot to review. We have less than 15 minutes. All right. So you get the idea. It's really cool though, because I like the aspect of this being a commercial. All right, got some camera movements. You got lots of cool stuff like that here. It's very neatly presented. And then you got, it incorporates the logo. It's one of those things in the outline. If you do the contest, it would be really cool if you do incorporate that. So I think that's really cool. It's a really neat presentation. And it's not like human style animation that I might have expected or thought. So let me see here. Simon Christensen, who is not Simon Christensen. I have been in Switzerland 8 times. I think I have family there. But look at that. We can build a bridge. It's good. You know what? If anybody has contact or is in contact with Simon Christen, the Pixar one, it would be awesome if he would show up in the Q&A and then say hi. Susan, make it happen. It would be so awesome. Actually, I do have his I could text him. But no, I'm not going to make it now because I want to go through this. So compared to this one, which is character-based. So let me just, again, share the screen. There's sound in all of these. So let me play this here.
What is the difference between an actor and an actor?
Well, an actor is like, wait, what is an actor?
Cute. You mean like you still have that in there, but it's cute, character-driven, cute little poses in there. So that's something you can definitely do. I see here, shout out to Maria Lopez. She has to go to sleep. Sorry about that. It's been long, but thank you for joining. And if anybody has to quit, I appreciated that you were there. So again, here's another one that's different again, not what I was expecting, but cool. And also, it's more minimal in terms of the animation work. Not saying it's bad, but I think it's cool. Watch this. No sound, also no MSI logo, nothing there, I believe, until it's the very end. No, but this is cool. It's also a cool way of incorporating, you got your cycle, your horse cycle. Shout out to Susan. And that in there. It's a cool presentation. It's a cool idea. I got to say. Oh, Kristen Smolinski says he's my teacher. Oh, Kristen, tell him to join. Come on, it would be so funny. It'd be awesome. So I thought that was kind of cool. Here's another one. Switch over here. That was also neat. So these are all somewhat different in style. That's why I'm showing you these. These are not in terms of preferences of you are going to win or, there's nothing there as a hint. But I thought these are all different and worth showing. Right, so this continues on, and it's cool. Let me see here. People are coming in again. All right, people are joining. Thank you for not quitting here. And it's cool. I like this. Look at that. That's cool. Cool presentation. Neat to see stuff like that. Turn the sound a little down here. But I like this. I like how it's being presented, that it finds different things that goes and then flows into the logo at the end, which is very cool. So again, it's a different type of thing. I love that map at the beginning, some depth of field there. It's cool. It's very cool, like this style. It's very neat. So again, totally different in terms of what was shown before. But there's more. There's more different stuff. So let me check the chat here. All right. We're good to go. Hi, JD. Always motivating to see your videos, man. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. I hope you too. By the way, just discovered a rock band from Switzerland called Gotthard, like the tunnel. I don't know if you know, but I'm totally obsessed with it. Cheers. Oh, it's Maxi Keller. Shout out to Maxi. You know what? I think, do I? It sounds very familiar because I know the Gotthard, but do I know that? And what software do you use to draw over annotate animation videos? I'm going to actually write it down here. And it's Keyframe Pro. All right. Let's go one more. Yeah. Share this. Can't wait to tell my wife. I did a massive shout out for someone that actually was not that one. Come on. Is that the best part? Q&A, let me know. Was that the most random thing? Shout out for Simon, but not that Simon. But Simon is still good. All right, let's play this. Ooh, oh, that's right. That's the one. Look at that. So right away, got that. I'm going to turn on the sound just a tad. Just a tad. Do you recommend a way to actually practice and improve at animation? I'm going to read questions while going through this. Yes, it's in your question. The way to actually practice is just to practice. You got to do things over and over and over again. I'm going to turn off the sound just in case you can not hear me. Is it necessary to put the logo in there? It's part of the guideline. It's not necessary. I'm not going to not consider you. But hey, shout out to MSI for putting that in there. But this is really cool. I love the look of this. But yes, to go back to the question, I would practice as much as you can, just because you will find out new things. You will fail at things and get better because you're doing it more than once. So that's why I would do that. Do you do a review in Keyframe Pro or just QuickTime? I do this in this right now in Keyframe Pro, by the way. And I used a different software here to draw over a QuickTime movie, but not for this. I love this too. So this is more camera animation with beautiful visuals and still has that. Still kind of neat. What I love about QuickTime, and it's tricky because it's not being used or supported for PCs anymore, is that in QuickTime it's very easy to go frame by frame and cut frames out, cut chunks out. It's super easy to quickly edit. And as a animation review tool, not in terms of drawovers and annotations, but in terms of, it's almost reanimating things for students. It's a great way to tweak the timing to show things. And I wish there was a program out there that would do what QuickTime does in terms of that edit aspect of it. It was great. Just checking here. Do you review your shop? Blah, blah, blah. Is there a theme or just anything? Go check out. I don't want to say something wrong because I have other ideas in my head right now, but yes, there is. And check out in the MSI Creator Awards, there's, when you sign up, you got a whole outline of what to agree with and not, and the outlines and everything. But generally, of anything that's animation related, it would be better to incorporate MSI with the dragons. That would be cool. But again, if it's awesome and it doesn't have any of that, who am I to say it's not good? But I would also for sure respect MSI and see what they say. SyncSketch, shout out to SyncSketch, also awesome. I just like Keyframe Pro because it's offline. I don't have to upload anything, and also for people who might show me things like my workshops. Shout out to my own workshops. I have animation workshops. You can go on my site, Jean-Denis.net. How about I give myself a shout out? It's not true. Just go on here and you see all kinds of stuff where my old crappy animation from school, but more stuff about my workshops. But the thing is that people that show me stuff in my workshops are sometimes private or things or tests for companies, and it's not supposed to be public. So you won't see that on my channel for sure. And then SyncSketch, like sometimes they're just not comfortable with putting stuff online like that. That's why I like Keyframe Pro, just because it's offline and it's very easy to use. You got the annotation tool, that's great. But SyncSketch has a ton of features that are also great. So I'm not putting one over the other. Let's see here. Quick little sound there. Yeah. I like Andrew. How many times has JD said shout out? Not enough. I was like throwing it out there. Come on, it's funny. So it's something else. I like really going back here. It's really cool. I like stuff like that. Gives me kind of a Blade Runner feel. But it's cool because you think it is in this world, and you can see this on the MSI Creator Awards page, on the landing page where you see the people who are submitting this, the description of it, why, and the intention behind all of this, which was cool. And I like this because you think it's so big in scale, but it's not. It's a cable. It's pretty cool. I like that idea too. Again, it doesn't have to be human character animation or creatures. It can be something like this. It's pretty neat. I like this. You got a little thing there. That one click, creating worlds with one click, I think is one of the themes that he went for. Look at that. It's really cool. Part of the world and incorporating that. I think that's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool way of presenting that, I have to say. Let me go back here. I have more. There's always more. There's this one too. Let me just check. I'm still good to go. All right. We have 250 people watching now. I don't know how many on Facebook. I don't have that open. That's not QuickTime. It's not QuickTime. That's Keyframe Pro. But shout out to all the people on Facebook. Thank you so much for being there. Let me switch to that. That's cool. There's a guy on Instagram. I'm going to play this while I check my Instagram. This is very rude, but I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out. There's a guy who does this pretty much every day. Every day. I'm going to let this play because it's a cool one too. I love this. Watch this. Watch this. Ooh, all those little things. They're part of the logo. I thought that was very, very cool. Bam. Look at that. It's very cool. I'm going to find it. I'm going to switch to one more because I do want to show you this, and then I can give you the name, and then you can go on Instagram and check him out. Oh, I got two more. Two more. This one's super cute. Actually, this one I'm going to play in full with the sounds because it's super, super cute. All right. Share screen. Grab this. Share the sounds. Start sharing. All right. Watch this. Come on! So good. Let's go back here. I love this. This is really cool. I would like this idea of, from the physical aspect coming in and then going in here. With the third, it doesn't just go straight into the logo. It goes and then forms a logo. That was by Abraham Jr. That was the name he uploaded, assuming it's a he. I thought that was very, very cool. Gotta say. Now, shout out to Joe. Is it Reba or Riba? How about this? Can I do this? Where's my camera? Oh, you can't see it. Maybe that's enough. And what he does, let me just pick one of these, right? Here. So, like a lot of elements of things coming in and out. It's very cool. I love that stuff. And only just because that submission here for MSI was very similar. So very cute of that thing. And if anybody just happened to join, it's going, what the hell is he talking about? Why is he showing this screen here? Not my screen. Let me stop this. Stop those shenanigans. I'm going to share the beginning just in case if someone's wondering. This is why. This is why I showed that Instagram thing of stuff like that. I just love this. The look of these things, and like I even love animating this. Like it's not all about character animation and creatures and human stuff. Like I love moving things like that. Like I said, like camera stuff, like all kinds of technical things. Actually, there's one more. Is that the one? It is. Perfect segue into, I was going to say, like Transformer style where things come together. I'll leave the sound on here. This is by Juhaid Mumtaz. Again, apologize if I'm butchering anything here. Watch this. It's cool. Where's the sound? Yeah. Ba-ba-bum. Awesome sound effects. Yeah. Oh. The critique that I would have for this person would be, it's so cool, right? And especially the music builds and you got this coming into frame. It's just like, oh, what is this? Like, what am I looking at? Then you go, ooh, pieces. Oh, that was cool. What's missing here is a fade out. You want to do something where you're showing the car, right? And they're showing all those little things. And at the end, when you do this, continue that rotation to like a 360, so that your car ends up like that, right? That's my car. Shout out to my own art school education. That's your car, right? So you can linger on this with a little bit of a moving hold and a rotation. And then the car could rotate again and end up like this, right? Something like this, where then there's the logo, the MSI logo on the front. Ah, come on. Wouldn't that be awesome? Sorry. I just get excited when I look at animation, and then when I think about what I could do differently, mainly because I don't have to animate it. This is for this person to do. So I like giving notes to other people. It's my lazy way of entertaining myself. All right. That's it. That's what I have. That's what I have. I'm done. That's it. The reveal is happening. So let me just see if MSI is okay with me calling it quits. Let me see here. I think that's it. I mean, I'm out of this. I'm out of the critiques. There's more stuff to look at. Go on the site for sure. What else is there? I paused my own stream. So I hope this was not pixelated. Ooh, I paused it. Anyway, it's also getting warm in here. I have a fan, by the way. Oh, it's cool. I get so excited. It gets warm. It's really hot, by the way. I'm in California. Shout out to Californians. In Petaluma. It's north of San Francisco. It's getting very warm. I hope that doesn't disturb the mic too much, but we are almost done. By the way, if you follow me on Twitter, go through the likes that I have, and then check out the NVIDIA RTX voice thing. Not to shout out for another brand, but the noise canceling thing is really, really cool. And it would take out the noise that comes into the mic for the fan. It's great. All right. Before I do the reveal, okay, I know I'm being told to share the price. I do want to, because it's not just all about me. I want to show this. Next up is Luba Lukova, visual artist, designer for designing Justice Works. She's a graphic designer. There's going to be an upcoming panel where we all talk about stuff, and she's in New York, Frontline, and does really, really cool stuff. And Andrea Molnar, I think we need a JD shout-out theme, a meme. Yes, please. Shout-out to a shout-out. I just want to say, there's going to be one more. Luba's going to be next. And then in the upcoming time, we're going to have a panel where we all talk about nerdy things and awesome tech stuff, how art has, or technology has changed art. So I do want to make sure that I give a shout-out to Luba, and it's not just all about me and all that stuff, but it's very cool, I have to say. All right. Close this here. Now, the reveal. Who is here? 273 people watching. How many in the chat? This is everybody that is in the Q&A. I believe that is the guideline. I'm checking the MSI stream, the chat window, if they can confirm. It's everybody who stayed until the very end in the Q&A. That's from what I understand. I'm checking here with MSI if they can type and confirm, because I don't want to be a turd and say something real here. I live on a planet Earth. Shout out to the people of Earth. Absolutely. Shout out to people that are living. Is the surprise 2 days free Skillshare? It is not. Juba Live. Absolutely. There's the link. Look at that. There's the link for the next one. Please check it out. She's fantastic. Also, completely different approach. It's not animation at all. It's really cool how MSI has chosen the different types of people, and what they do is really cool. So, everybody's still here. Everybody's still here. Look at that. Where can I download a model to Prestige from my animation? That's a good question. I don't know. I'm just getting the notice here, share the prize, and I don't know. So I would say, I'm here. Look at this. Everybody's here in the Q&A. So everybody that is in the Q&A, I see a hello on the MSI stream. I want to reveal this, but I want to make sure that I'm okay. Okay, I'm being told to share the prize. All right. All you have to do is dun, 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 dun. Do this. Email me, and you will get a 100-page PDF with tips and tricks covering everything with animation. General tips and tricks, do's and don'ts, creature animation, facial animation, process, how to start, how to select things. It's 100 pages of animation goodness. If you email, you're going to get an immediate response because it's an autoresponder with a link to the document, and you get it there. But I'm going to delete the email and the document as you see here on 426. Why? Because it is specifically for all of you who are here in the Q&A. I'm checking here in the Q&A. Now, that being said, that was what I was told from MSI. I'm sure everybody that's watching this right now on the stream, all those people are going to do the same thing. So I can't help that, but that's what I was told by MSI. It's for a prize for those that are staying till the very end. Because if you're watching this on the recording next week, it won't be there anymore. So it is for the people that are here still watching. All right? Send the email to JD. You will get the collection. Yes, you will. Now, something else, a surprise, is that you get a discount. You get a discount on my workshops. So everybody that sends me an email, I will collect those emails. And if you sign up now or in the future, I will check if your email was in that list that I'm getting right now. Hold on, let me just see if I'm getting emails. Is anybody crazy enough to do it right now? MSI. Oh, Simon Christensen. Not that Simon, but the other one. Mihailo, Thomas, Clermont. Look at that. All of you should have gotten it. Now, either way, email me. Just in case the autoresponder fails, that's fine. Why? Because you have to email me. So I'm going to email back in case it doesn't work. So that's my promise to you. If the autoresponder doesn't work, and there should be a link in there, you will get it if you email me, because then I can email you back. Again, included is the link to the 100-page PDF with Swiss nonsense. Let me see. Jose Pablo Granera, he got it. And Kristen Swinsky got it. All right, it is working for some of you. That's great. I mean, it should technically all work, unless I'm getting 5,000 emails at once and then something breaks. You know what I mean? But if you just email me, I'll get your email. I'll send it to you. And included is the discount. It's usually $500. You'll see in the email the discount. I won't reveal it here. You have to email to see it. Dun, dun, dun. And that is the prize. So again, you don't have to sign up for the workshop right now. You can sign up in a month, in 2, in a year, whatever. But I will cross-check with the email that you sent me that you are the one that sent that to me, right? So you can cheat. All right, you got 28 emails already there. So I'm going to wait for people, and that's it. So MSI at Jean-Denis.com. I'm going to leave that open. You can see here, MSI is also putting it into the chat. So 100 pages of tips and tricks just for you. Don't share it. Don't put it somewhere online. This is really just for you. I would appreciate it that you are respectful of that. This is a gift for the people who are here. So please don't share this. Don't put this online. I will be very dismayed. The 3 Dimensions got nothing. All right, but did you email me? If you emailed me, I got your email, and you're going to get it. Let me see here. Did MSI spell this correctly? MSI at Jean-Denis.com. Yes. And you can see this is in the email. There's a discount for my workshop. So instead of $500, it's cheaper. And you can sign up, and it will be, I believe, spoiler, $375 instead of $500. And that's that. So make sure it works. Again, it is MSI at Jean-Denis.com. And that is only valid today and tomorrow. So email, you can only get it now and tomorrow, and I'm going to take this all off afterwards. Mainly because, again, it's a gift for all of you that joined. And in the future, you know, I'm sure I'm taking some elements in the future and going to put that on YouTube and make a bigger series out of it. But you know, as you know, if anybody follows me, I'm very busy. So if that goes too crazy, I don't want you to wait. So this is there for you. So that's it. Thank you for all of you. Thank you, Hussein, Sarah, Jose, Artu, Andrew, all of you that are there. Thank you to MSI for doing this, for being so kind and patient to let me do this. I'm just going to wait and say goodbye. That's all I have. Check out the next one. There's the next presentation coming. The link has been set out there, Luba Live. That's ready. And there's a panel coming up in the future. And now see announcements on MSI. Follow me on Twitter to get all the goodness there. Then you can always message me. You can always leave a comment on my YouTube channel if you have any questions. Any questions that were not answered here, you can choose any of my clips on YouTube, Write a comment there, write your question there, and I will answer you. That's my promise. Let me see here. Yeah, emails are trickling in. And again, I will cross-check with those emails. And if the autoresponder doesn't work, I have your email, and I will send it to you. So I'm going to respond to all of those emails and ask, did you get it? And if you didn't, I'm going to send it to you personally, privately. And that's it. Stay tuned to the next event from Lua. That's right. Oh, look at that. More are coming. Good people are emailing. I love it. And just in case, if you are wondering what it is a 100-page. You personally, oh, thank you, Eddie. Eddie's always there to cheer me up. You're so good. Shout out to Eddie. And 100-page PDF. I say 100-page. I mean, it's the title there. You mean like the actual amount of tips is maybe 95, 93. It's not exactly 100. There's a title in there too. But I hope it's helpful. That some stuff is structured, some stuff is kind of random. Also, I try to put in as many credits and things that I can, but it's pulled from all kinds of sources, so it's not all me. Some stuff is by me, some stuff is from other places, but usually I give this to my students. So everybody that's enrolled in my classes, we talk about this in our Q&As or in live or in the actual classes, and that's kind of usually what I do at the end of each semester. So this is for the very first time something that I'm handing out, just like this talk. This talk is usually the do's and don'ts only for my students in my classes. It's the very first time I'm talking about this out and about. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Absolutely. Subscribe to MSI Global. Subscribe to my channel if you want to, if you get some tips and tricks. Subscribe to Sir Wade for sure. Lots of stuff there too. I would love it if you subscribe and help my channel grow. I would love it, and I can post more. That'd be great. How long is the discount on the workshop available? The discount is available forever, but only to the people who are signing up now or who are emailing me. I should clarify. So if you are emailing now, shout out to Sarah, who are emailing now, getting things, if you sign up in a year, 2 years, 10 years, I still have your email. Just don't change your email. I can cross-check. Oh, yeah, you emailed me on, what is today? The 25th and the 26th. I know you are one of the people that were there. I'm sure people will find a way to cheat. Don't cheat, just be honest, right? But I want to make this as a gift. And after that, the email will be dead and the document will be taken offline. And again, just don't share it. I will expand on all of these in the future on my channel as well. But this could take a year, 2, 3. I mean, I'm going to start a camera series. And I'm going to start the facial animation series and camera first, which is not a document. The camera first, which is a long thing. And then imagine then there's the facial stuff. This is going to be taking a year or 2. So, all right. I am getting the notice that we can wrap. So I will say thank you. Thank you to all of you for participating and joining. Make sure you check out the next one. The next presenter, Luba, and I say thank you. Keep emailing me if you want this document. It'll be awesome. I'm going to take it offline, msi@jean-denishaas.com. For all of you who are joining, that's my gift to you. And that's it. Yeah, discount for my workshop. And that's it. I'm going to say thank you. That's my wrap up. Are you doing more lives? You know what? That's a question for MSI. We can do this again in the future. I'm doing a webinar as an animation mentor next week. You can come in on Friday. I am on YouTube. I can start streaming. I can do live Q&As on YouTube if you want. I'm too busy with the classes right now, but after May, like June, between June and August, I can potentially start with live Q&As if that's something you're interested in. Should probably try it, right? Thank you. That's right. Merci à vous. Merci beaucoup. Danke vielmals. Simon, the Simon that's not Pixar, thank you, but also the Simon who is at Pixar, and all the people that I gave random shout outs to. That was awesome. Come on. It would have been so cool for that Simon to be here, a fellow Swiss man, but it wasn't him. That is no shade on the other Simon. Thank you. You've been holding your pee. Guess I could finally go soon. Oh, you're too dangerous. Go pee. Have a great weekend. Thank you, you too. Thank you to both MSI and JD. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. The 3 dimensions. Make sure that you got it. Email me either way, and I can email you separately if you didn't get it. Maliak AD. All right, I'm checking here. I'm wrapping. I'm just waiting until that stream is taken offline, and that's that. Yep, subscribe to MSI. Passe une bonne soirée. Merci beaucoup, Florent. Merci à toi. Merci, Fanny. Merci beaucoup. Und danke vielmals, Schweizer, irgendein Schweizer da, der geschaut hat. Vielen Dank, die deutschen Zuschauer. Vielen Dank für den Stream. And that's it from me. Good night, good morning, good lunch, good night and good luck. Chris, shout out to Chris. Adios. Carlos, I don't speak any Spanish or Portuguese or anything, sorry. Klingon, tachpa, tachpe, for the fellow nerds out there, to be or not to be. Kapla, kapla to the fellow Star Trek nerds out there. Thank you. You got the gift. Cool, Keen got it. Chris again, lots of buys from Chris. I can't quit you. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you, thank you. Look at that. People are still, oh, you want to give me chocolate? Oh, Saya in the house. Shout out to my students. Thank you. We're wrapping in 1 minute. Look at that. I want to say thank you in 1 minute. And that is it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's no problem. Yes, we can wrap in a minute because I don't know what else to say except thank you. Hasta luego. Muchas gracias. 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 Ja. Namaste. Hasta luego. Auf Wiedersehen. Vielen Dank. Danke vielmals. What else? Merci beaucoup. À demain. À la semaine prochaine. On va voir. Wash your hands, peeps. Wash your hands. Put your mask on. Safe distancing. Seems like things are flattening, but let's not go crazy. Let's not go out in crowds and provoke a second wave. Let's be clean and figure out a way to get back. At the same time, support businesses. You can still get takeout if you're in the States here. Eat out. Clean the stuff, but eat. Buy stuff at restaurants. Those poor people, buy stuff, buy food. Maybe tonight I'm going to get a pizza again. Did I have a pizza recently? I think I had one recently. Maybe some Indian food. Sing a song. I can't sing. Sorry. How many languages do you speak? I speak German. Do you count Swiss German as a separate language? Oh, the Swiss going. How dare you? Of course. I don't know. German, Swiss German, kind of the same, right? Wave hands. I'm waving. French and English and Klingon. It's not true. I don't speak Klingon. All right. There's an ending card coming. That's it. I'm going to mute my mic. Thank you so much. See you hopefully in the future.